Well, this one is the last video about the fuse, the frame pieces. What we are going to do in this case is copy this shape that we've got. We'll try to create a similar line. Very similar to this one. Well, now let's see how it looks. We've got a perfect cut. So we could go to the next step. We will select the transpose and mask this. Remember, when we press Ctrl over a polygroup, the other polygroups will get masked. We will try something here. If I use the move brush and move all this geometry down, we could see that the polygons will deformate. Here we could see some triangles. And that means when we move this vertex on the line that I create, stay up. And the others move. So that's the reason why we've got that kind of tension over these polygons. But if we move and pressing Ctrl over this inner circle and move this down, we could see something different. In this case, we don't have any triangle. What I do here is I create a new line of polygons. So by using this technique, Ctrl and Transpose, we've got the possibility to generate new polygons and new geometry. This is very useful when we work with Dynamesh. This will only work if you don't have any subdivision, a normal geometry or a Dynamesh. But we can see that down here and up here it generates a line. So it is almost straight, very different than the first solution that I show you. But we will continue. I just use the move brush and the move option. But if I use the seam brush, instead of move this, I resize it. I'll press Ctrl over this center, the center of the third circle. Let's see what happens. Let's just move it a bit. In this case, it breaks. We could see a hole. So it split the geometry. That kind of helps are very useful, because the transpose allows us to create different geometries. So why do I teach you that? Because we could split this part. Let's disable the solo a few seconds. And let's go then by the side support, and we will locate it here, more or less. Yeah, that could be. And we will use clip curve and cut right here. we will flat this a little bit. Well, sorry, I flat instead of good. We will activate the symmetry. Well, let's see what happened here. Oh, we split this bad. We'll go to the lasso tool. So when we create the cut, we accidentally curved here, so we've got different polygroup. So this piece first, we will convert this in a different polygroup, hide this other part, and invert the selection. Now this piece, Ctrl W, there it is, we correct the problem. So we could continue with our work. First, transpose. We flat this piece. It is almost the edge, so. And we've got this hole. What we could do in this case? We will go to modify topology and press close holes. And voila, we've got a good piece with a curve. This is why, because we've got some cut here. Well, it doesn't matter. Now we will start to refine this. We will flat this right here, like a little help. The main idea is create a curve and down straight. We need to flat these pieces. And now we will go to the difficult part, where we will fuse all these pieces. So save your work first. Let's combine these tools then. This piece that we've got here, we need to duplicate it, because that will be the reference when we use the projection tool. Rename this frame. And now what we are going to do is fuse the pieces. There, now we know that the pieces on our object are just one piece. Like everything is together. The next step now is insulate this. And this piece that we got, we will use our measure on it. Remember the target polygon count. I recommend you probably 10. Just for add a few polygons when we create the new mesh. And keep the details. We've got a good topology here. Something very important is enable the symmetry when we use a zero measure. Why? Because basically when we use the symmetry and zero measure, it will select one side and duplicate it to the other. So we could have that other circle. So try to disable the symmetry. We will use a projection work. Remember, subdivision and project all. And we will do that process and finish the video. Remember, add a subdivision, project all, add a subdivision and project all. You need to be patient. The result worth it. Let's see how it looks. This is the final result with Dynamesh, and this one with subdivisions. We need to polish a few things here. This. But we could use a smooth brush or edge polish for smooth these areas. But we've got a good work here. And we could move between the subdivisions. It will help us a lot in the future. So now with this, got a complete frame with all pieces. It is a light piece, a light subtool, because we could move between the the subdivisions. As I told you, this video was long, but you learned something. So that's all for this video. See you in the next one then.